Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is going to be going over Sonichu and Rosechu's Love Shack. So let's get straight into reading this. You are about to enter new territory that may open new creative doors within your mind. Are you 18 years of age or older? Now that's a very strange way of putting that, but that's a great way to describe the Sonic fandom as a whole. And as you can see, instead of Chris getting a yes and a no, he just edited the yes to be a no. And he didn't even try to match up the shading. He didn't even try to color the whole button red. You can see where he put in the no. Like, it's so terrible. His photoshopping skills are atrocious here. Sonichu and Rosechu's Love Shack is the Rule 34 section of Chris's Sonichu site, which apparently he put it on the Sonichu site itself. Terrible idea. On February 12, 2009, Chris most likely took the name from 1999 South Park themed video game Chef's Love Shack. You know what? You're probably right on that one, because Chris was obsessed with South Park. While many would think that this is simply a ham-fisted attempt to continue his protest against ED, he's actually just going to get us to open new creative doors, artistically and spiritually. Who knew terribly drawn chinas colored in with magic markers could be so illuminating? And you can see up here that is a really old drawing of Rosechu, one of the very first drawings of Rosechu, and just enjoy the terrible limbs, like the fact that her arms come out of her chest. They look like they're coming out of her tits. You can see her legs look like she's been starving for years on end. Her torso makes no fucking sense. It's just bad artwork altogether, and it's written in poorly translated Spanish. Several people noticed before the site's sudden death for girls section, essentially either requesting or alleging solo or homoerotic Sonichu artwork. The artwork he did manage to post was most likely stuff he already uploaded to ED, as well as some new smut for the pairings of Sonichu 9. While Chris has been drawing erotic fantasy artwork, chances are the Love Shack is gone for good, which it is, because Chris doesn't even really run a website anymore, despite numerous fan requests for it to return, which I doubt it ever will. Creating a page not intimately related to him would cause too much stress. Development. In a post on the Sonichu Girls forum from January 2009, Chris posted, "If you all recall, I had mentioned the idea of creating a one-time magazine of pictures of Rosechu's, minus the penis since she's underage, being in sexy underwear and or naked," and I think he wanted to call it Pokey Boy or something. That did make it into the comic itself. It's really weird. As a protest of mine against ED jerks who drew dicks on my female characters and women in general. The heinous, slanderous act still infuriates me, but I will withhold my rage. A Sonichu girl asked me when I was going to draw a comic of Rosechu's stripping in protest, so I felt I should put it into a popular vote. Would you like to see multiple pages of Rosechu's being sexy in underwear or naked? That's a lot of people on the internet. In protest against those jerks in the Playboy parodied magazine? Or do you feel that I would be crossing a line by doing so? You should know that you would be crossing a line by doing so. If the popular vote is good, I will draw the magazine either before or after drawing and coloring my number 9 comic book, depending on how I feel. I'll make my decision based on the popular responses after a week to a month's time, which I wish Chris would be that responsive now when it comes to updating its comic book. Thank you all again for understanding my true meaning behind the stripping protest. Love and peace, and no fucking lightning bolts or whatever. I miss old Chris. All the true and loyal Sonichu gal fans supported Chris's idea. Alongside supporting from fans in Mumble, Chris made the site. The Love Shack went online on February 12th, becoming part of Sonichu and Rosechu.com, the third domain that hosted Sonichu's site, which he had acquired and set up earlier that month. And all these sites were absolute fucking garbage, and they're all gone now. On the age check of the site, he says that the images may open new creative doors within your mind. This means Chris actually believes that looking at terribly drawn pictures of nude Sonic recolors will make you more creative and spiritual person. I think it'll do the exact opposite in my opinion. Chris kept the sub-site very up-to-date, adding adult versions of his comics all the way up to Sonichu 9. For a time, the Love Shack was updated almost as often as the Sonichu comics themselves, although Chris left out some well-known material from the collection, such as the Giant Penis comic, which is an unreleased comic that the trolls got their hands on anyway. When Chris relaunched his site in April as Quickville.com, he broke several links to the Love Shack, but the gallery was still available via the old domain name. After the site was repeatedly hacked in May, Chris eventually gave up and allowed it to lie follow. At present, Wikipedia doesn't have any section like the Love Shack and hosts somewhat less explicit versions of the comic like Sonichu 8. As of April 2010, Chris has claimed on his blog that he would never allow adult images on his site, which he doesn't have anymore, and the Rule 34 he has created was leaked. Since Chris has horrifying porn available himself, and at one point had an entire page dedicated to quickrock4way.jpg, which I can't open that here. If you want to see that, open it up yourself. This is a lie on both accounts. And there is a bunch of images from that, and I can't open any of them because I will most likely get in trouble. So I can't show you any of those. No way. If you want to see that, go check out the article yourself. I can't even censor them because it would just be ridiculous, and I would probably still get in trouble for that. And that was Sonichu and Rosechu's Love Shack. It was Chris's page on his website where he put a bunch of smut involving his characters. Hopefully this video has changed your mind and opened up creative doors that you will be able to find horrible Sonic recolors behind. And I want to know what you guys thought of this video. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. If you want to see more, and subscribe. Updates have been kind of slow on Chris because he hasn't really been doing anything. It's been pretty boring, but hopefully there'll be something I can stream soon. Thank you guys for watching, and bye. Before the credits roll, I thought I'd give a shout out to my multiple ways of making money. YouTube is slowly starting to sanitize the platform, making it harder for people to make money on edgier content like I do. So I'm reminding you guys that I have a Patreon. The Patreon has plenty of reward tiers, including seeing my podcast early, being able to join my fan Discord, and possibly even getting on the show if I can fit that into the schedule. I have video recommendation tiers that you can try to get into, and if all else fails and my YouTube falls apart, I always have a BitChute account, so remember to check out all these different things in the description below.